here in Bangor. I'm joined by UMaine soccer coach Scott Atherly. And coach, I bet you wish you were still in Orlando, huh? With the weather there compared to up in Orono. But it beats playing in Wisconsin. So for those that don't know, you were down in Orlando playing the University of Central Florida last week on Friday, November 14th. Unfortunately, come away with a loss, 2-0. If you would, talk to us about the journey down and your impressions of UCF and all things Orlando.
Yeah, well, we certainly had a great trip. Obviously, the outcome was not what we had hoped for, but our team really, I think, played well in the game, and really left everything on the field, and that's what we had hoped for. As far as the trip, it happens really fast. You find out what your seed is on Monday, and then everybody scrambles to get going and on the road, and before we know it, we're flying out on Wednesday morning, which is crazy. And we got down there a couple days in advance. Weather was absolutely gorgeous. I don't think there was a cloud in the sky. It was, high 60s, low 70s. And so the atmosphere was great. The facilities were wonderful. Hospitality was great. And, as far as the game goes, we got out to a great start. We had the first two real opportunities of the game. They got a great counter goal. Our goalkeeper in the first half didn't have much other than that to do. Second half, we were under the gun a little bit. We were in our end quite a bit for the start. But the second half of the second half, we pressed higher, and had created a few more chances in the end. And they're a great team, and the best team that we've played so far. And just something that I think the players left feeling very good about our season, about our performance. Certainly the most competitive we've been in the NCAA tournament, and probably the best team that we faced.
When did you fly back? Did you come back Saturday or did you have a day to,
No,
enjoy anything down there or was it straight back to the campus?
it was straight back. We came back early on Saturday, but we did have some time in between the time we got there, and it was just really great. I mean, the kids sat out by the pool to do their homework, and it was just very therapeutic. The weather was fantastic and
Oh
not too
yeah.
hot. It was just so comfortable.
So now what happens? I mean, so, you don't have I mean, I know what happens because now you're recruiting and
Mm.
everything. But tell everybody what Scott Atherley does, and do you have a team meeting postseason? I mean, do you do anything with Christmas? What do you do with spring training? And just kind of walk us through what you're doing before we talk again next August.
Yeah. Well, this morning started with a Zoom call with a recruit in Europe at 7. Our whole staff has been on the transfer portal, and I've got Zoom meetings set up for this afternoon to just really have such a short window to get kids here to visit, to meet them, to get visiting, because we have Thanksgiving holiday and then kids have exams. So if kids are going to transfer here at mid-year, everything really needs to for the first time, and you basically get everything together in 2 weeks to have them here for January. So that's where our immediate kind of energies go, really trying to get the transfers here for mid-year. And we're looking to pick up at least 2, maybe 3 at mid-year. Want to have maybe 4 or 5 for next year, which will really complement the group that we've got, coming back, which we're thrilled about, especially when we get back to good health. I'm also headed to Europe in a week after next in December, going to attend a couple showcases. I have meetings with players over there. That's a really big part. So recruiting is really the essential piece that we're doing right now. Our team will kind of just, kind of recover for the next 2 weeks. After the 2-week period, Chris, our sports performance coach, will do just some movement analysis with them and do some kind of just basic things to get them situated for their winter program. Then the players have off for about a month, and then we come back, we get right at it. So it's crazy, but right now it's just all hands on deck for recruiting.
So, I mean, you really you want those early recruits to transfer for the January term. So that way you can work with them for 5 months before school gets out. And that way they know the team, they know the Maine way,
100%.
everything, as opposed to picking someone up after, after the end of the school year.
100%. I mean, it is absolutely, it just transforms their experience, from the standpoint that they get acclimated, they get familiar with our system, they get to play in spring games. And, we lay a lot of the foundation for the fall and the spring. So it is absolutely essential that we get them here in the spring.
Having the new facility has got to help. I mean, previously you've kind of been able to show them drawings and things like that, but to be able to say, hey, look, watch this video, here's the unveiling of the new facility, this is what we now have, and it's only going to get better. I mean, that's got to help the recruiting process.
Chris, it's funny you mentioned that, because I was out on the field this morning. They already put up the signage of our third conference championship and NCAA tournament, and I'm walking out onto the field and I'm saying to myself, this is just like having an ace up your sleeve. It's like I paused for a minute and said, I can't believe I have this to show somebody, and it just makes your chances so much better. You feel more confident knowing, man, this is a game changer. You can actually show a kid this and say, how about this? And the excitement around it is just it's a game changer.
Yeah. I mean, and I, so walk us through the portal. I mean, everybody kind of registers, or they announce that they're going in the portal. Do you then get emails, or how does that all work?
Sure. So there's a 2-week window that begins this morning at 8 a.m. And kids have to be, if they wish to transfer, they've got to be in the portal within that 2-week period. And right now, I think there's over 1,000 Division I players in the
Are you
portal.
losing anyone? Has anyone notified you that, hey, coach, for whatever
Yeah.
reason, I'm going to enter the portal? Or maybe you don't want to
Yes.
say, because
Well, I'll tell you,
they can come back, right?
yeah, we have one. I won't mention any names,
Right.
but we do have one that's in the portal.
Okay.
But that does happen. People come back and say, "Hey, it didn't work out," etc. And we're always open-minded to that. But yeah, there's over 1,000 right now.
Okay.
That there's almost 3 for every Division I team in the country
Wow.
out there. And so yes, we get inquiries, we get kids reaching out to us, we're reaching out. You can, we have the technology that we can check them out online with video from across the country, and it's kind of I wish there was a more uniform, universal process to it, but it's a little bit mad in terms of how you go about it. You're just trying to, latch on to kids that are interested in you and geographic areas that we are familiar with. Some are former people that we've recruited,
Right.
or have seen along the recruiting trail that reach back out, or we see a name in the portal that we've recruited before, and they're like, hey, that's happened many times where we've gotten kids to come back the second time and
Yeah.
landed them. So it's just, there's no real science to it.
And being the three-time America East champion and going to the NCAA's 3 consecutive years, all of that's going to help, attract kids to Maine.
It does. Winning to good players.
Right.
So the reality is that, when you're winning, you have to capitalize on getting good players, because that's what, winning perpetuates, by having good talent. You have to have talent to win, period.
Right. All right. Well, what's on your wish list? I mean, if Santa's going to bring Scott Atherley, I mean, besides great health for your team next year,
Yes.
because I mean, but what do you want for what's the ideal person to come in?
Yeah, we need a goal scorer. We need somebody that's a real, just a natural, instinctive goal scorer that, we know that's, there's never going to be another Abby Kramer, but somebody who's built like that, in the sense that their mind is, and their instincts are to go to goal and to hold up play, and just be somebody that teams really have to worry about. And not that we don't have kids here that are capable of scoring,
Right.
but all great teams have a personality like that, that are just such a threat, that they get other people open because people are so worried about them.
Yeah, if you can have that score that, is going to cause, two players to mark up,
Hmm.
then
Yeah,
obviously it gives you someone, it frees other players. And, if you
it
could
does.
get a scorer and who is a great passer, boy, I'll tell
Yeah.
you, you'll have done well.
Yeah, and that's what we're working really hard on. And we have a profile of players who fit our game model. And if you're a forward on our team, you have to be an aggressive defender and a chaser. So we definitely have a profile that we're looking for, and hopefully we'll have some luck here in the next few days.
Right. And you need someone that's going to fit in with the team too, right?
Oh, 100,
Because
100,
I mean,
absolutely.
yeah, they
Yeah.
have to do things the main way.
They do, and that's an important thing. It's not just, the easy part is distinguishing whether or not they're capable of helping us on the field, but more importantly, they've got to be the type of person that allows us to sustain our culture and add to our culture. We're not just interested in, and we've seen kids that are really talented, but just aren't the type of people that we want in the program.
Right. Well, what would be the advice? And I probably know what you're going to say, but if there's a high schooler that is um, interested, maybe they're a 10th, 11th grader right now that's interested in being recruited by a Division I coach, what's the one advice you'd give them, in terms of social media or
Mm.
I mean, because you look at their Facebook, you look at their Instagram posts, I'm sure, right?
Well, no, I don't,
You don't?
because no, I'm not on Instagram. I don't even know how to use that stuff. I
But
mean,
your assistant coaches
yeah,
must be.
but they're much more savvy than I have. No savvy. But the reality is we don't. I think one of the things, Chris, one, we're, I don't know how to say this. We're looking for kids that are kind of like, aren't really in the spotlight. They're really not into that as much. You know what I mean? And now I say that because I have two teenage daughters that live on social media and things like that. But there's just a certain kid that we're attracted to and that are attracted to us, that stuff isn't really as much of an issue like some of the other kids that I've seen out there. Your question was what advice? Get high quality video in
Okay.
competitive situations. So whether somebody's coming across the country or Europe or wherever, we have the means to evaluate whether or not they have the tools, at least from a soccer standpoint, to be considered, and then we get into the relationship building, etc.
All right. Well, you and I are going to have to sit down and talk because I'm going to have to show you the main soccer TikToks and stuff like
Oh, I
that.
know they're.
'Cause
Oh, I know they're out there, man. I know.
they're
I am
they're
not naive, but I
they're
just don't.
dancing like crazy, and
Oh,
I'm
I know
waiting to see you dance with
No,
them.
no,
I mean,
you'll never see. No, and believe me, I understand the social media part is such a big part of today's youth and everything like that. But I'm just not somebody that's looking at that and going on it and looking at a kid or liking likes and things like that. I just don't do that. And so far, it's worked. Maybe again, I'm always evolving. So maybe someday I'll be on TikTok, but I hope not.
God help us all, right?
Yeah, right. You see that? That's when you come and have a talk.
Yeah, we know the end of those are end times,
Yes,
right?
yes, those
All
are end
right.
times. Yeah,
All right, Coach. Thanks so much. Hey, listen, I really appreciate. I mean, we've done this since August. You've
yeah,
given us your time Mondays, and win, lose, draw. You've always been here, and I really appreciate it. And look forward to doing it again with you next August.
yeah. And thank you, Chris. I really appreciate our relationship and the exposure you give us, and definitely looking forward to doing it again next year.
All right. Happy holidays.
Same to you.